What's going on, you guys? My name is Andrew McDonald, and today we were going to learn how to play Until the Sun Explodes by Sublime. It's a great song. It's got some really great bar chord shapes that you can take with you to many other songs, and it's also got some really interesting percussive rhythms or percussive things that are going on that fit this genre and this style really well. So let's get right into it. All right, so to start with, we have a B major chord, and how we're going to play this chord is we're going to bar across our 7th fret here with our pointer finger, lay that pointer finger across all of the strings, right? Make sure they're all ringing out. You're going to put your middle finger on the G string of the 8th fret, ring finger on the A string of the 9th fret, pinky on the D string of the 9th fret. Should sound like that, all right? With our right hand, we are going to pick E, D, B, G, D. E, D, B, G, D. Then you're going to do the next chord, which is an F sharp major chord, right? This has an A string root, so that pointer finger is going to mute out your low E string, but it will play your A string, right? And then your ring finger is going to bar across the D, the G, and the B string on the 11th fret, right? Should sound like this. So then the picking pattern that we have for this chord sounds like that, right? Which is A, D, B, G, D. So between those two chords, we have this, right? All right, and then we're going to take this major shape again that we did on the B chord. We're going to do it right here across the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th fret, right? So barring across the 6th, middle finger on the G of the 7th, ring finger and pinky on the A string and the D string of the 8th fret. And we're going to pick, this time, E, G, D, A. Right? E, G, D, A. We're going to drop this same shape down. That's an A sharp major chord, right? We're going to drop this A sharp major chord down to a D sharp minor chord. Notice that everything stayed the same, but I dropped everything down a string, right? And I'm barring across every single string except for my low E here, right? So we get this D sharp minor chord. All right, and that picking pattern, we're going to pick the A and the B string, right? And then we're going to move this minor shape to a major shape off of the A string again, just like we did this F sharp major chord, but we're going to play it off the 4th and the 6th fret. So pointer finger goes to the A string on the 4th, ring finger across the D, the G, and the B off the 6th. You're going to hit the same strings that you hit on this chord, right? But you're going to hit A, B. So all together, everything we have so far, right? And then we're going to do a G sharp minor chord. So this is a minor chord off of an E root, right? Or E string rather. And we're going to bar across the 4th fret with our pointer finger, and then our ring finger and our pinky are going to stand up on the A string and the D string of the 6th fret. And we're going to pick E, B, G, D. Right? So this is a G sharp minor chord. Then we're going to move back to the D sharp minor chord. And you're going to pick A, B, G, D. Right? So that's what those two chords sound like together, G sharp minor and D sharp minor. And then you're going to end up back on this A sharp major chord, right? Which is across the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th fret again. And you're going to pick E, E, B, G, D. All right, so he does that one time, and then he jumps to E, B, G, E, B, G. And it'll sound like that, right, on that A sharp major chord. So this is what it sounds like all together. All right, so then we go into our verse. We just did the chorus first, right, which is also the intro, but now we're going to go into our verse. This is verse 1. So we're going to go to an F sharp major chord, right, just like kind of before, where we put our pointer finger on the A string of the 9th fret, ring finger bars across the D, the G, and the B on the 11th fret. And the rhythm for this looks like this. Right? So what he's doing is he's hitting the strings with this bar chord not pressed down, right? And then he squeezes it on the upbeat, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that gives you that reggae beat, right? Which is happening again on the offbeat. So you could count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on that F sharp major chord. We're going to take the same rhythm to all of these chords, right? That come with this part, right? The verse. And so then we're going to move down to a D sharp minor chord again, right? Which is across the 6th fret with your bar, right? Everything except for your low E again. Middle finger on the B string of the 7th, ring finger on the D string of the 8th, pinky on the G string of the 8th. And you're going to cycle between these two chords two times, right? So right? Until we go into the next part, which is going to be so. Right? So that next part, what we're going to do our major shape off of the E again, right? This time it's an A sharp major sliding to a B major. So that's barring across the 6th fret to start with, middle finger on the G string of the 7th, ring finger and pinky on the A string and the D string of the 8th fret. You're going to hit this chord with the down strum, and you're going to slide, and then you're going to come up with an upstroke, right? So to keep that rhythm going, right, that we were doing before. Now, sometimes I change this rhythm a little bit, right? Like I might let the chord ring out a couple times. Like that, right? Like I might do that kind of thing. But generally speaking, right, we're just hitting still on the offbeat. So that A sharp major slides to, slides to the B major chord. Then we're going to go back to our F sharp major chord, right? 9th and the 11th fret, pointer finger on the A string of the 9th, ring finger across the D, the G, and the B on the 11th. And then we're going to go to a C sharp major chord, which you're barring across the 9th fret with your pointer finger, middle finger on the G string of the 10th fret, ring finger on the A string of the 11th, pinky on the D string of the 11th. So all together, for that part, we get this. Now, that's the way he plays it the first time through. The second time through on the verse, he's going to play it like this, which will be right? So the only thing that's different there is we start with the F sharp major chord again, the D sharp minor chord, right? Still do the slide, everything's the same. Now when you get to this B major chord across again your 7th, your 8th, and your 9th fret, you're gonna take your pinky off, and you know where we were hitting on this off beat, he's going to put his pinky down on the high E of the 9th fret. After that, sorry, he's going to take his pinky off and then put it down. So it'll be up. So, and that's, I would recommend hitting your high strings as much as possible, but that's pinky on the down strum, pinky off on the up strum, and then down again, right? Pinky down, and then off on the upstroke. So you get. Yeah. And then you're going to go back to, or actually, no, I'm sorry. Then he ends it with an A sharp major where he goes up, down, up, down, up. So all together, the second part of that verse, you get this. Right? All right. So then that takes us back into the chorus. Now, chorus 2 does not have a G sharp minor like the first chorus. And we will see another G sharp minor like chorus 1, but that won't happen until chorus 3. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But chorus 2 basically sounds like this. Right? So it's basically going halftime now, and he's really still hitting on the offbeat, but now you're doing it with the down strum, right? Instead of an up strum, we're going to hit with the down strum. And you can kind of hit like, you know how we're doing this percussive thing, right? You could still kind of hit your lower strings and then hit the whole chord, right? You just would squeeze the chord, strum a lower string, maybe targeting these root notes, right? And then strum all the strings. So you could do that, or you could just hit a very simple pattern where you just hit just on the offbeat. All right, so again, how this chorus 2 goes is B major, which again was on the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th fret. Pointer finger barring across the 7th fret of all the strings. Middle finger on the G string of the 8th. Ring finger on the A string of the 9th. Pinky on the D string of the 9th. You're going to go back to F sharp major, A sharp major, right, which is across the 6th, 7th, and 8th, just like this major B major bar chord. Then you're going to go to a D sharp minor again and a C sharp major, right? So he's going to do that twice before he goes back into, or before he goes into the next part, which is going to be B, F sharp, A sharp. So I'm going to play through the whole thing, all of chorus 2. And I'm kind of changing the strumming pattern sometimes a little bit, but just as a general guideline, right, just hit on that offbeat. So one more time, that was a B major, F sharp major, A sharp major, D sharp minor, C sharp major, and then you do that twice, right? That whole progression twice, and then B, F sharp major, A sharp major. All right, and then verse 1 is the same thing as verse 2, right? So this part. Right? All right, and verse 2 will then take us into chorus 3. Chorus 3 is different, the third chorus is different than actually both of the choruses. The chord progression is really more or less doing the same things, but it's taking chords and putting them up the octave, as we would say. So instead of them being lower down here on the neck, they go up higher. And we'll go through that. So we have this B major chord to start chorus 3 off. Right, it got across your 7th, your 8th, and your 9th fret. Barring across the 7th, middle finger on the G again. Right, of the 8th, ring finger and pinky on the A string and the D string of the 9th fret. And then we're going to do F sharp major chord off your 9th and your 11th fret, right? Pointer finger on the 9th of the A, ring finger on the D, the G, and the B of the 11th. And then we're going to go to A sharp major, right? Across your 6th, your 7th, and your 8th, right? Like this B major shape again. But then you're going to drop down to your D sharp minor, C sharp major, right? So D sharp minor is across your 6th, 7th, and 8th fret, right? And then C sharp, again, C sharp minor was across the 4th and the 6th fret, pointer finger on the A string of the 4th, ring finger on the D, the G, and the B of the 6th. And he's going to play through that twice, so right, with the same rhythm that we did before. Right? So that's 2 times of playing through B, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp minor, and C sharp. Sorry, I know that's a lot of chords. But then he's going to do basically the same progression, but he's going to add on to that. And this is where the chords that are higher come into play. So it would look like this. Right, and then this is the part that would sum it up. All right, so to do all that, we have again a B, F sharp major, so B major, F sharp major, A sharp major, same thing as before again, D sharp minor, C sharp major, and then G sharp minor. Now, instead of doing it here, we're doing it here, which is barring across the 11th fret of all of the strings except for your low E, middle finger on the B string of the 12th, ring finger on the D string of the 13th, pinky on the G string of the 13th. And then you're going to take that same chord, you're going to move it up, right? This is a D sharp minor chord barring across your 11th fret, all the strings, ring finger on the A string of the 13th, pinky on the D string of the 13th. All right, so. And then we're going to move to a A sharp major chord, which is pointer finger on the A string of the 13th, ring across the D, the G, and the B of the 15th fret, right? And then we go back to that D sharp minor chord, which is on the 11th of the 13th fret, right? Barring across the 11th, ring finger, pinky on the 13th of the A and the D string. And then drop to a C sharp major chord, right? It's the same chords like we were doing a D sharp minor and a C sharp major, but we're just now doing those up here. So that C sharp major across the 9th, barring everything, right, with your pointer finger, middle finger on the G string of the 10th, ring finger and pinky on the A string and the D string on the 11th. And then you're going to go to B major again, 7th, 8th, and 9th, F sharp major on the 9th and the 11th of the A string, right, the D string, the G string, the B string, and then A sharp major again. So all together, your chorus would sound like. Right? Hopefully that was not too confusing. It's really just kind of doing the same thing as before for the most part, right? But you're just putting these chords now up the octave, and he does throw back that G sharp minor chord in there, but again, that's higher rather than lower. All right, so for the bridge, you are going to play chords down lower, right? So these shapes are really... they're still the same chords, they're just now lower instead of higher. So we're going to start with a F sharp major chord for the bridge, like that B major chord, but we scoot it down to the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th fret, right? Barring across the 2nd, middle on the G of the 3rd, ring finger and pinky on the A string and the D string of the 4th. And we're just going to single strum this, right? So really let it ring out. Then you're going to do a D sharp minor chord, like we've done before. He's going to play this twice, right? And then you're going to, and the D sharp minor, right, is across the 6th, 7th, and the 8th fret, barring across all the strings except your low E, middle finger on the B string of the 7th, ring finger on the D string of the 8th, pinky on the G string of the 8th. And then you're going to go to a B major chord on the 2nd and the 4th, right? Pointer finger on the A string of the 2nd, ring finger on the D, the G, and the B of the 4th, and then back to that F sharp major chord. And then you're going to do a C sharp major chord, which is like that B major chord here, right? You just scoot it up to your 4th and your 6th fret. So all together for that part, he is going to change the ending of the bridge too. I'll do that in a second, but the second time, at the very end, instead of going to that C sharp major chord, he's now going to go to the A sharp major chord that we did, right? And that will take us into chorus 4. So all together you get... right? All right, so for chorus 4, we have a lot of the same things that were going on in chorus 3. It's going to sound like this. All right, so basically what's happening there is a B major chord, right? Again, up the octave, F sharp major, just like before, A sharp major, D sharp minor, C sharp minor, but down the octave. We're gonna do that twice. B, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp minor, C sharp major, and then we've got B. We're gonna do that, again, a third time. But on the third time, you're gonna scoot up to a G sharp minor across your 11th, your 12th, and your 13th fret again, right? This is up the octave. So barring across the 11th, middle finger on the B string of the 12th, ring finger and pinky on the D and the G string of the 14th. And then you're gonna do D sharp minor again up the octave, and then A sharp major, right, which is on the 13th and the 15th fret. Pointer finger on the A string of the 13th, ring across the D, the G, and the B of the 15th, and then D sharp minor, C sharp major, right? C sharp minor, or sorry, C sharp major up here again was 9th, 10th, and the 11th fret, right? And then he is doing that with, again, like for the first two parts of the chorus, that's single strums, but then he increases the rhythm and makes it faster, right? Where we hit on the upstroke again, the and of each beat. So then as he's closing out the chorus, he does B, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp minor, C sharp major, B, F sharp, and then he does like an A 7th chord, but he voices it this way, where he bars across the 6th fret, middle finger goes to the G string on the 7th fret, ring finger goes to the A string on the 8th fret, and then pinky goes to the B string on the 9th fret. You get that, right? So hopefully that was not too many chords to throw at you, but again, a lot of it really is just the same thing. He is just moving up and down the neck for certain parts of the song, but he's really using the same chords. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe and follow my channel. There will be more covers, there will be, or more guitar tutorials in this case, and there will be covers as well, just different musical things that hopefully are helpful to you, inspirational to you, and so on and so forth. So have a good day.